Hey everybody, welcome back to 18 Outdoors, and I'm back in Alabama. So, first day hunting. This is an evening hunt, rifle hunt. So I got the old Browning out, blow the dust off it. So hopefully it'll work out all right, but I'm sure it will. So, man, it's hot. Good Lord, but it's it's time we need to be out here. It's just hot. So this is the third day of a scheduled gun hunt on one of the sides, so it's just I've heard they've been doing pretty good. I've seen some daggum Nisons killed, and several people I know have killed some nice bucks. So curious to see how this season unfolds here as far as everybody, not me. I'm not really worried about me. I'm sure I like Kathy could know, but just curious of what this area, because the habitat's changing, and the hunters, a lot of the hunters are passing more younger bucks, so it's and the genes are here for them to be some whoppers, so it's just very well could happen. There could be some big ones killed, and they've been some decent ones, so anyway, it's again, boy, it's hot. Good Lord, my whole beard's sweating. So, but anyway, we're gonna sit here and see what happens this evening. I'm in like a funnel area that's associated with some wild oaks. I walk by where some deer were eating wild oaks, so there's plenty of them, and everybody knows this is a mass crop year like crazy. So, but kind of sitting in an area with some pines that's still alive. So that's the hard part about that. We've got botched beetle kill, so finding standing pines, they are in places, they got some young pines that's planted and stuff, so stuff that's growing in cutovers. But anyway, I'm situated in this little funnel area with some pines associated with it, and above, a creek crossing is a pretty good ways off, but they do use this area, and when they start traveling more, bucks especially, so does hang out tighter to the pines and stuff. So, but I'm set up, ready to go, and wind's starting to pick up, which is kind of unnerving a little bit, because there's still pine tree standing that's dead, so that could be, I'd be nervous walking out of that stuff in the dark. So, but anyway, kind of watching. I've had a few comments about me looking at the camera and stuff, but most of the time when I'm videoing, I'm in a hunting situation, so I had a big buck in Iowa walk up on me while I was talking, and 30 something yards. I didn't have a shot, but anyway, that's why I try to keep scanning, because you don't know what can happen. And I'm talking about like a 140 inch plus, like a 20 something inch inside spread wide buck was 30 something yards, like at 10 minutes to 11 was fixing to come down and was actually fixing to move areas. So it's hard for me to just sit here and look at the camera and talk, like that. So I'm going to be moving around a little bit, because you don't know what that's going to happen. I'm trying to help, with some tips and tactics and stuff, but crap, I'm trying to hunt too, so but anyway, so y'all please forgive me all that stuff. And tree frog. If it sounds like, I guess it's a tree frog. Anyway, I'm gonna get situated. It's 2:30, so I got about 2.5, 3 hours left of daylight, so we're gonna see what happens. Again, appreciate y'all. Appreciate all y'all support. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. Any kind of things or topics that you want me to talk about, send me out a message. We'll look into that and see what we can do. So again, appreciate y'all. We'll see what happens. Alrighty, y'all. It's November 23rd, second day for me to gun hunt in Alabama on public. So morning time right here, so a little bit breezy, so I'm kind of trying to listen to, because it's kind of interesting things that went on today. But yesterday, I hunted just a different place, and didn't see any deer, but I had 2 pigs come trotting by. And I didn't shoot them or anything. Got too daggum hot, and I was way back, and I didn't really want to mess with them, and especially in a pretty good deer spot. So, but now today got here this morning, and right at cracking daylight, there was 2 deer come across that creek crossing and went up in there and kind of act like they was chasing, but kind of weird. Well, after about a couple minutes, one of them come back and went back across, and so I was kind of sitting there and being kind of watching, because I couldn't see what their heads looked like or anything like that, because it was still real gray light. So after about 4 or 5 minutes, I'd done a couple grunts and was just sitting here, and then I seen it was getting a little bit lighter, and I seen something coming trotting. So I went to pick my binoculars up to look. As soon as I picked my binoculars up, something went hopping up a hill, and I thought I could see the tail, but I don't know. But anyway, it might have come down there from me grunting. I ain't 100% sure. Anyway, the coyote had come up through there and went the same way that the deer went. So I don't know if that was involved in all that or not, but it's kind of weird. But so then about an hour later or so, I heard something and looked, and coming up this point right here was a deer. And it was like a 2.5-year-old buck, kind of tall rack buck, and it was like he had his mouth open like he'd been dang running or chasing or something. So anyway, I looked at him for a couple minutes, or it wasn't no couple minutes because he went by pretty fast, but I could tell he wasn't one of those after us, so I wasn't going to shoot him or anything, but so. But still, it was a very interesting morning. So it's 12 o'clock now, so I think what I'm going to do is move and go back to that place I was hunting yesterday evening, and the wind had kind of switched here. It's been acting a little bit goofy, so I'm going to try to slide out of here. So it's the last day of this gun hunt, so they won't have another gun hunt for almost 2 weeks in this area. So it'll be like the first few days of December, and I really like them days generally. So, but actually last year in this area, Kathy had killed her 7-point. It would have been yesterday. So, but anyway, I'm gonna climb down, ease over there, get up. I might even take me a nap. I ain't sure. Pretty tired. I'm like a 1.5 mile walk in here, and it was hot this morning, but it's kind of cooled off with that wind, so I kind of got a little bit of a chill, but still ain't about 50-something degrees maybe. So anyway, let's go see what happens, and I'm gonna climb down. We'll see y'all here in a little bit. Oh y'all, I changed my mind. It's daggum hot, so I got to thinking as I come out and I'm sweating, that buck I seen, his mouth is open, he's panting, so most, right now with it being hot in the evening makes it tough. Them does, they ain't gonna be running around that daggum heat with their tongues hanging out there getting in the shade somewhere, so kind of makes that where minimal movement till right before dark. So I decided I'm gonna go into the truck, go home, get my bow in the truck, and I'm gonna come back and bow hunt in the morning. So, but anyway, I mean, that's one thing about being hot during the rut. They're gonna rut, but I mean, it kind of reduces the daytime movement at times, just depending on how hot it is, because it just, they get daggum hot. So, but again, it is rut. You've been these early rut areas, Bankhead National Forest, over on Talladega where Choccoloc's at, and these places have probably been in a week, maybe a little more. So, but it's gonna get better. So, and it's supposed to start cooling off here in a couple of days. So, be ready. I mean, it's, as you can see in the Midwest, what's happened. Big bucks have been getting put on the dang ground. I mean, they've been putting them flat like crazy, and It's because they had a bunch of rain, they had plenty of food, so everything was built up, and they're gonna run around chasing. I mean, it's a lot more movement. Same thing here. We've had a little bit dry weather here lately, but everything's mass crops crazy, so the chasing part should be, don't hold me to it, but should be more visible. They should be more active, and they've already been some good deer kills. So anyway, it's even throughout the state, the places where you have this early rut, it's gonna be nice. And as it gets later on in the year, the other places should be good too. So again, because all the mass crop and what rain we had early, it hung on into the summer. So anyway, get in the woods. This video is up prime time. Y'all get in the woods. Spend as much time in there, funnels, travel corridors. Grunt like crazy, can call. Wildlife Research Center, golden estrus. I love using that mist every now and then. Now, don't get too crazy with it. I just like a little, let it drift in the air. Early in the morning when I first get up the stand, let down thermal pulls and kind of spreads it out, because people say, well, if you're hunting the wind, it ain't no good for you. Well, when thermal change and stuff like that scent being kind of heavy, molecules and stuff, it'll disperse, so, and kind of spread out. So it kind of, all I use it for is to pause something if it's downwind of me, because the places I hunt, you're gonna have tricky winds, so I'm gonna give up a wind one way or another and try to have a couple more shooting ideas or travel ways to be observing. So, and I've killed several downwind. So anyway, biggest thing is being in the woods. Be ready. Make sure your gun, all that's on, bows look good. So make sure you can hit a deer at 30 yards. But stay in it, stay after it. You can rattle to an extent too. I mean, maybe a little bit more aggressive now, because if there's some of these areas, the buck ratio has got a little bit better, so you'll have more. I heard somebody talking about this ain't a busted up rack buck out here, so they're fighting and stuff more. So that's a good sign. So anyway, hey, y'all get them flat, and we'll see y'all. Good luck. Send me some. Everybody, thank y'all for watching the videos. Well, again, we appreciate y'all's support. If you haven't liked, please like and subscribe. And don't care if you haven't got one of our books, check out Amazon and get a book. Also, we got a link on there where you can, on our YouTube channel, where you can go on. We got a little store set up, like if you're interested in any kind of merchandise, shirts and stuff, you can check that out. And we really appreciate anything like that. So again, we appreciate y'all's support. Keep watching. We're gonna keep trying to share the outdoors and how we do some things, and try to help everybody that we can enjoy the outdoors. And we do this for just basically because of the environment and the community that's involved and built around hunting. So again, we appreciate y'all. Like, share, and we'll see y'all again. Bye.